Right. In the previous video, we started with 6 Linux directories. In this video, you will learn 5 more Linux directories in the name of the library directory, the lost+found directory, the media and MNT directory, the OPT directory, the root directory, and the proc directory. So let's go into the first one, the library directory. So if we do ls/, you'll see our folders. So right now we're going into the library directory, right? What's the library? The library is a collection of precompiled pieces of code, which are known as functions, that the entire system needs to use. Right, so they are useful in providing reusable functions classes that the entire system would need. So let's go into the library directory and see what we're talking about, right? So we can see so many libraries here. So let's check Python for its libraries, for example. So let's go into Python. Let me pick, we can see Python 2.7 so let me do pick 3. So let me go into this packages. If we use the tab key, you can get in, and let's just check in. Let's check any of the any of the Python packages. So let's do Vim. Let's use Vim this time. Sorry. So let's do. Let me use deb. Let me check debconf.py, and this time around, let me use a Vim command. So Vim is the text editor we use in Linux. So let me do vi. So this takes me to my debconf.py directory. So you can see all of the classes and the functions inside this particular module. So you can see the functions that are defined as def in Python, and all of the collection of functions give us a library that we can use. So let me leave here. Right, so that's that. Second, let me clear my screen. So we go into the lost and found directory. So you can see lost+found directory. You'll find this in all mount directories anyways. So whether it's media or MNT, as far as it's mounted into the system, you'll find the lost+found directory. So if you create a new storage device and mount it on dev, it will have its own lost+found directory. So what this directory is used for recovery of files during a shutdown. So let's say the system shuts down and then there are damaged files during the shutdown. You'll find these damaged files. Once the system comes up, you find them in the lost+found directory. That's what it's used for. So next, let's go into the media directory, right? So media files can be found here. Files like pictures, videos, and all of that can be found. So for example, if I plug a USB drive into my Linux system, right, all of the media files in that USB file will be found here. Right, there's nothing there right now. And the same thing for the MNT directory. So the same thing for the MNT directory is a mount directory. There's nothing found there. So next is the OPT directory. It's called optional or option, right? So this is for newly built applications that are not configured on the Linux system. So for example, you build your own custom application and you want to install it on your Linux system. This is where you mount your custom application. That's for OPT. Now, next is proc. Let's do proc. Nope, that's wrong. Right. All processes running on the OS are found in the proc directory. All processes running on the OS are found in the proc directory. Right. So you can see all of the different processes. And let's do an example. So I want to run a Vim process, I want to run it in the background, right? You can see the number of this process, 1386, right? So right now, let me go check that process. ls minus l, ignore this, I would explain all of this later. Then into proc. Then I want to grep it. Grep is used for filtering different stuffs. Then 1386. You can see that inside this proc folder, we have 1386. If you go back into proc, ls proc, you'll find 1386 there, right? So this is the Vim process that we ran here in the background. So you find all your processes here. So lastly, we have the root directory. Lastly, we have the root directory. So let's do root. Boom, permission denied, right? So the root directory is the same as home, but it's the home directory for the super user, right? So that's the reason why we're denied permission. If I try this again, but I do sudo ls, excuse me. Boom, you can see I have just the snap. If I do sudo ls minus la, you can see all of the files in our root directory. So that'll be the end of this video.